Russia's top diplomat worried publicly today about a U.S. plan to send special forces troops to the former Soviet Republic of Georgia. They would train Georgia's army to fight terrorists thought to be operating from a gorge near Russia's embattled province of Chechnya. The Russian foreign minister said a U.S. presence, quote, could further aggravate the situation in Chechnya. One place where the United States does not want to aggravate the situation is Afghanistan, currently home to about 5,000 U.S. combat troops. But as CBS's Elizabeth Palmer reports tonight, increasing numbers of Afghans say they think the Americans have already overstayed their welcome.
Almost 4 months after the collapse of the Taliban, the first signs of anti-Americanism are surfacing in Afghanistan. CBS News obtained this leaflet, which is secretly being circulated here in Kandahar. The message is plain. All Muslims must rise up and continue the holy war against the Americans and their puppets who have invaded our land, it says, and goes on to say it's the duty of all Muslims to drive Americans out of Afghanistan. Local people say the leaflets are being issued by former Al-Qaeda extremists still at large, determined to inflame the traditional hatred of foreigners. Inside the mosques, they preach against interference from Iran and Pakistan. Outside the mosques, you hear something else.
I want the money of the United States.
Most people here don't just resent the presence of Americans and Europeans as aid workers or peacekeepers. What they're really frightened of are their non-Islamic values. Afghans fear that a way of life that's barely changed in more than 1,000 years is about to be destroyed by the temptations of Western technology and liberal ideas. There is one aspect of Afghan life which Westerners do want to destroy immediately: drugs. Farmers know the United States is behind plans to destroy the spring opium crop, and they resent it. Drugs baron Haji Bashar won't criticize the U.S. directly, but he made it clear he's a very influential man who can overthrow any opponent. It is possible to provoke people against anyone who tries to control this country, he says. Although Americans are now enjoying a kind of honeymoon as the liberators of Afghanistan, it's clear there are powerful forces here with a vested interest in provoking violent opposition. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Kandahar.
U.S. officials hoping to learn if Osama bin Laden was killed earlier this month said today they're trying to get DNA samples from the bin Laden family. They want to test the DNA against human remains from the site of a CIA missile attack in Afghanistan to see if they match the terrorists. The United States today offered a $5 million reward for information leading to the kidnappers who murdered reporter Daniel Pearl in Pakistan. The U.S. also wants custody of jailed militant Omar Saeed Sheikh, who admits he planned Pearl's kidnapping. But as CBS's Richard Roth explains, Pakistani officials say they're worried about the risks if they extradite Saeed.
Stepped-up security at Saeed's Karachi jail today demonstrates why extradition's a tricky issue for Pakistan, even dangerous. A phone caller warned of a rocket attack on the building if Saeed's given up to America.
I would be not stating anything about the extradition at this point of time because it's too premature to say so.
But President Pervez Musharraf, who offered condolences today to Daniel Pearl's widow, is under heavy pressure from Washington to turn over the chief suspect in Pearl's kidnapping. And signs are he's responding. Pakistan's now sending clear signals that in principle it wouldn't object to Saeed's extradition. But if it's to happen, timing will be a major issue to resolve first. Authorities say there are legal requirements to meet. Some are insisting on a trial here first. They still haven't recovered a body or a murder weapon. And by all accounts, Saeed's not giving up much to interrogators. The delay building a hard case against the suspected mastermind of the crime is causing worry.
He may suddenly escape, or he may suddenly commit suicide, or he may be killed trying to escape. And if that were to happen, then the trail would end there.
A fatal gun attack on a mosque near the capital overnight points up Pakistan's predicament. The government wants to show it's cooperative with America, while it needs to prove it can deal with terrorists on its own. Richard Roth, CBS News, Islamabad.